Hello everyone, welcome to Mul-Tea-Hull Talks, third edition. We are live on Instagram. It is June the 3rd. Thank you so much for joining us for Tea and Talks. So yes, it's the third edition of the Mul-Tea-Hull Talks, but before we start, maybe just a quick note for those who are joining us for the first time on what Mul-Tea-Hull Talks actually is. Some time ago, we were, thinking about how sad it is that we cannot meet in person with our followers, our customers, our partners. So we thought, let's give ourselves an extra opportunity to meet, to have tea and actually talk. So for the first edition of the Mul-Tea-Hull Talks, some of you may remember our guest was company founder and president Nicolas Lapp, answering a number of questions from you, and thank you so much again for sharing those. In the last edition of Mul-Tea-Hull Talks, we actually met up with one of our project managers, who gave us a very interesting insight into what it is like to be managing big multi-hull build projects. And today we're joined by Research and Development Director here at Sunreef Yachts, Nicolas Lapp. Hello, Nicolas.
Hello, Arthur.
Hi. So today we actually should be drinking green tea, I feel, because we're going to be discussing quite a lot of green features in the Sunreef Yachts range. As a matter of fact, a number of you have shared some interesting questions, namely about the Sunreef Yachts Eco range, because this has been the buzz recently. As some of you may know, we have this range of sustainable eco catamarans. This applies both to power cats and sail cats. And in just about a second, we're going to dig into detail with Nicolas and see what the Sunreef Yachts Eco are about. And actually, one of the most exciting features of the Sunreef Yachts Eco are the solar panels. It's a system that we devised ourselves, and it's something quite unique. So I'm not surprised that the first question is about the solar panels. How are the solar panels connected? What are the chances of them getting damaged?
Yes, so solar panel is the things that we were working the most in the shipyard, and we created our own solar panel that can be integrated 100% on the boat, and therefore we plan to make them very strong and to make them very adapted to the boat shape, and the connection of them to the boat. We as well worked on that to make them not visible and to not have the bypass regulator outside of the boat, but inside of the boat, just to make them as flush as possible.
Yeah, because right now with the Sunreef Yachts Eco, I feel that the panels are they're so much more than just solar panels. They're part of a boat design. They're actually fully integrated in the design. And before that, you've seen designs with basically big, square, kind of awkward-looking solar panels. Right now, they're fully integrated with curved structures, actually.
Yeah, that was our goal, to be able to use solar panel, but not to use the one that are on the market, which are either rigid or either flexible, but the efficiency of them for the flexible is not perfect. And we wanted really to integrate them completely in the boat structure. And due to that, we made a big research and development, and we've put some patent as well to make a solution which is really strong, and to be able to make them flexible and to be able to shape them to the boat design, and not the opposite, to build the boat design according to the solar panel. So, and that was our goal, and I think we reached it. We already sold several boats with those solar panel, and I think the sun is one of the power that is available in a big quantity, and we just have to catch as much as possible.
Absolutely, yes, because most of these cats will be cruising in sunny areas either way. Next question is about how solid, how durable are the solar panels integrated with the hull, and what happens if one of them breaks?
Okay, so like I said before, I cannot tell you exactly how they are built, but they are very strong. and we have some, again, I say some patent about that. We did some tests as well to check how strong they can be. And that is the reason why we're able today to show you a panel on the side of the hull. And on the top of that, on the very sensitive area where you're gonna walk, or where there can be some scratch from sailing equipment, we can have an additional protective film layer on the top to avoid a small scratch and things like that. But like I said, the tests we've done showed us that they are extremely strong. And even in case if one would be broken, we have the possibility to remove and to replace them. And this is as well one of our patents, because the solar panel look like completely integrated on the boat right now. There is absolutely no feeling, even by touching the hull, of the thickness of the panels. They are extremely thin, and you don't see even the edge of them. They are completely integrated in the hull.
Okay, that's fantastic. And one of the, if I understand correctly, one of the main goals, actually, of having those extreme solar panel surfaces covered is, of course, to obtain a lot of power from that. And the next question is about that specifically. It's about the 60 Sunreef Power and Eco version. What is the maximum range of the 60 Sunreef Power Eco, and is she transatlantic?
Yes, of course. So, like we said before, the fact that we can put the solar panel everywhere on the hull allowed us to have much more power available on the boat and for propulsion. And like always, Sunreef used to work with CFD program and to adapt the hull and the shape of the hull to make the most efficient boat as possible. And thanks to that and the solar panel, so we are able to reach practically, or not practically, we are able to reach unlimited distance with the solar sun power at reduced speed, and a bit higher speed at 6 knots. We can expect more or less 100 nautical mile of daily distance to be reached on the boat. So knowing that most of the cruise are small distance, we can easily do it in a higher speed, even than the 6 knots. And for very long distance, we can still do it fully solar, just reducing the speed.
Okay. All right, so the next question is a bit general. It's about green yachts in general, and most green boats are catamarans or trimarans. Can you explain why so? Why catamarans? Why trimarans?
So why catamaran? For us, catamaran, not trimaran, but mainly because of the less drag and we have a better efficiency of the hull. And the second thing is that we have then wider boat, and we have much more space to put, of course, solar panel and equipment to make them fully autonomous. We did already in 2008 a Sunreef 70. It was the old model. Power, and it was already covered with solar panel, with wind generator, and already we used to get that was over 12 years ago, a non-toxic bottom paint. So always Sunreef has been working into this eco field, but right now we felt that this is the good time to really push strongly, and since a long time we are working on all of those patents, and we'll come back with some new solutions soon as well.
Okay, and the next question is about the maintenance on eco catamarans. If you have a green cat, does that mean that you are looking at more maintenance, or is it the exact opposite? Are you expecting less maintenance on board?
No, green cat mean of course less maintenance. We know that electric engine are need less maintenance than thermic engine. The same for the battery. They are lithium NCM battery. I think we got some other question about the battery. We'll come back later with that. But they are very strong and practically low maintenance. And and thanks to that we can save the running cost of the boat and be more efficient.
So overall, you burn less fuel. It's basically, it's good for the environment, but as well, it reduces costs. So it does seem the green camerans seem like the logical solution, I think, for sustainable cruising. Now, the next question is about the wind turbines that we have in store. What kind of wind turbines do you use?
Okay, for now we use the classical horizontal axis turbine, but I hope soon we can show you some news, but I can't say too much right now about this subject.
Okay, good. Well, I see some questions in the meantime. We received a question about the Sunreef 60. Can the Sunreef 60 be crewed by 2 people?
Of course, yes, the Sunreef 60 can be crewed by 2 without any problem. Even in the old range that we get, but right now with the less maintenance, it's gonna be even easier. And I just see another question about kite. Maybe I can answer the kite because I just read it. But the kite, we are working on that. The sky kite is not a so easy solution because the kite need to be need to make in the sky some 8 shape, and to do that you need a lot of automatization, and we already worked on that, but it's let's say not maybe ready yet, but we are talking with some producers to get it on the boat, and we need some automation to make the 8 and to be sure that the kite keep on the good place in the sea. So there is a lot of, it's just not like put a kite, but of course we are working on that.
Okay, and the next question that we received is about actually energy consumers on board. Air conditioning is a big energy consumer, but it is essential on a yacht. How much power does it need on board an Eco Sunreef?
So the air conditioning, we did work a lot on the system as well, because it's one of the most powerful element that we have, technical element that we have on the boat. And the study we did and the work we did on that, we managed to do air conditioning, but a big one, not just like a small one, which use on a 60 foot only 4 kilowatt per hours. And we have a recovery system for the heat that can make the efficiency even better. And on the Eco boat, we use the air conditioning, and I think we are the first one doing that. And we use the DC air conditioning system on a high voltage. I saw that one question a bit before on Instagram about the 48 volt. No, so yes. So to answer your question, we work mostly on 622 volt, and the air conditioning that I just talked about is working as well on 622 volt. Just on the 50 foot, we have a 400 volt system. And in the night, the air conditioning using only for the cabin, for example, can use only 2 kilowatt per hour. So that's really low amount. And the same, we using the recovery of the heat generated by the air conditioning to heat the water on the boat. So we try really to use all of the energy that are built or made by the system to recover in each part to make them as efficient as possible.
Energy management, energy saving, exactly. Really important factor on board. Next question is interesting. It's about the any autonomous systems being considered for Sunreef Yachts Ecos. Are you working on autonomous systems to reduce the number of crew required? This would reduce energy consumption on board.
Yeah, that's what we answered just before about the crew by 2 people. So of course, less maintenance, less crew. Of course, all will depend as well. If this is a private trip, or if it's a charter. Of course, if you have a charter, you have as well the hotel services that you have to provide your guests. So We didn't work yet on a robot making the food itself, but maybe
that's in your department. Yeah. That's research and development.
But of course, just for making the boat simpler, we have developed and we've installed already on the sailing boat, for example, a very automatized furling boom. We have right now remote maintenance for most of the electric part of the boat. We are able to connect on the boat via our office here to check the battery level, to check the all the electrical system if there was some fault, and then we can already help the customer and the owner if there is no electrical guy on board to solve a problem via the Sunreef service here.
Okay, so remote maintenance basically.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, great. So the next question is about an essential element of sustainable boating. It's about batteries, and this could actually batteries could be the solutions for batteries could be the future of the industry of the sustainable boating industry. So obviously very important factor on board. What kind of batteries do you use? What do they power and for how long?
Okay, so we use lithium battery, which are the NCM Hemis3. This is more or less the marine standard. They are pretty safe, and the very important things is that we did work on the development of the battery, especially for our application. That means that we didn't buy the battery already on the market because they were not adapted to the yacht. Let's say for this size of yacht industry, most of the battery manufacturers, they are building for huge boat, huge cargo ship, or cruising ship, but they are not adapted for a 60, 80 foot, even a 100 foot. And thanks to the research and development, we managed to make a battery which are 30% lighter than the average marine battery. We are not talking about the classical battery. And they are less than 6 kilo per kilowatt hours. And I believe you gonna have problem to find lighter at this time. And that's one of the development together with the solar cells that we did, that Sunreef did, just to make the boat more efficient. And thanks to the battery, we can run some of the equipment. Of course, it will depend on the size of the battery bank. Like we said before, we have either 400 volt on the small boat or 622 volt. And on the power, the capacity, we can go from, I would say, 100 kilowatt. That's the minimum, but for a small boat, to up to 1 megawatt. And thanks to this battery bank, we can run the full boat, the full house. For example, if you are somewhere in a bay for up to 2 days, and that's really great because for 2 days, even if you don't take in consideration the solar, because if you take solar into the game, it's unlimited, but let's say that you have bad weather, rain, whatever, or if you don't have the full solar package, you can keep the boat running for 2 days just on the battery.
That's quite a lot of energy autonomy, but on top of that you have light batteries. I think this is very, very important, right? The density, I believe is the ratio between the weight and the power provided. So that's also something very interesting. And the last question I think for today will be about the future. I believe is hydrogen considered as a propulsion option?
Yes, we are working on that slowly, but we already have one customer who deeply show his interest, and we are making research right now with this customer together, because it's someone really implicated into technology, and I hope that soon we're gonna be able to propose at least a prototype with the hydrogen.
Okay, well, that's fantastic. All right. Well, Nicolas, thank you so much for answering all those questions. I feel we could go on like this forever, but unfortunately our tea's gone cold. This is how we measure our time available online. So I think that's it for today. But if you have more questions, feel free to share those either via email or Instagram, social media, basically anything that you would like to know. We'll be happy to answer that. And of course, next week we will be back with new guests, more tea, more questions, more answers. For now, thank you so much for sharing your questions, and we were very excited to do this. Nicolas, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again, and
thank
see you very
for
soon.
looking at us.
Okay, thank you.
To
Bye.
get some question offline. Thank you.